Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Edds house from the show Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Just so you know, I have made tutorials for each one of the three houses. You can find tutorials for these in the description below. This is the amount of space required to make your build. Here are all of the materials that we will need throughout the build. Begin by placing 12 light blue terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend up by 2. 1, 2. Place a blue terracotta on top, and then extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend all the way down to the ground using light blue terracotta, and then extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can now extend across the back of the build using the light blue terracotta, and I want you to line up with where we started on the front of the build. Once you've done that, extend inwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend out to the right by 2, 1, 2, and then extend towards the front of the build by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in by 2, 1, 2, and then join all the way back to the beginning. This is what the floor plan should look like so far. We're now going to mark out some details for the house. Place a glass block on the front left hand corner of the build. Then extend it to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then place a row of 3 light blue terracotta. 1, 2, 3. With an iron door next to this, and then in front of the door on the ground, stack 2 andesite slabs on top of each other, extend to the left and right by 1, and then place a row of slabs in front of the polished andesite blocks that we've created. Once you've done that, we want to come back to our window and extend the left side of it backwards a row, and then add another row of glass on top of it. We then want to come towards where the garage is and fill the empty space where the garage door would be in using spruce stairs. This is one row behind the actual frame of the door. We also want to place a couple of rows of light blue terracotta behind the left side of the door with a row of blue terracotta on top of the 2 rows of light blue. Then extend this back row of blue up a row, then up a row using a light blue terracotta, then place a glass on top of it and extend left by 1. It'll look a little bit weird, but the end result is this. Now come all the way over to the left side of the build, add a row of light blue terracotta on top of this sticky out part of the build, and then place glass on top of the 3 middle blocks of the sticky out part that we have just placed terracotta on. Come all the way over to the back right corner of the build. In front of, not the first, not the second, but the 3rd and 4th blocks coming along the back, place stone in front of these blocks. And then extend the stone upwards by quite a bit. So we're not counting this out, but we want to extend these stones each up by quite an amount, much higher than everything else that we've placed thus far. Then, on top of the light blue terracotta at the bottom here, we want to, next to the stone, place a light blue terracotta, 2 glass block right of it, gap of 1, glass, place a glass on top of each one of these glasses, and then stack a layer of polished andesite block in front of the 2 of the glass, spanning from left to right. Add another row in front of this, then add a row of polished andesite stairs in front of this, like so, The left and right sides want to be sideways andesite stairs, whilst the middle face forward, and you get this effect. With a lot of the details of the house built into the walls, we now have to build up the walls. Place a light blue terracotta on top of the front left hand corner of the house, just above this window. To put this simply, we want to go all the way around the house and build up the walls so that they are equally all as high as the light blue terracotta that we just placed on top of the front left hand corner window. And that includes placing terracotta in between and on top of all of the structures that we have made just a moment ago. With the walls built up, we are now going to make the roof. This is how we're going to make the roof. Begin by placing a blue terracotta on top of the front left hand corner of the house. Extend that blue terracotta to the left by 1, and then forwards by 1. And then this is how we are going to build the roof. Follow this pattern. Extend to the right by 2, 1, 2, and then up by 1. Right 2, 1, 2, up by 1. Right 2, up by 1. Right 2, up by 1. Right 2, up by 1. We have hit a point in which we are now going to hover over these two glass blocks. So we are going to come all the way over to the right side of the roof, place a blue terracotta on top of the top front right corner of the build, extend right 1, forwards 1, left 2, and now we're going to extend up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. Once again, we've kind of hit this point where we are above the glass, so we want to extend up 1, and then just join to the opposite side. So the upper part of the roof is a little bit flatter than the rest of it. So all we have to do now is extend the edge of the roof backwards. We can do this on both sides. It's a little bit different on one side than the other because we have this little weird extra part here on the left. However, we are not going to worry about that little extra part at this moment in time. We are just going to build up the back of the roof using the exact same method that we did on the front of the roof. Except this time it's a little bit easier as we actually have the front of the roof to guide us onto the back of the roof, so you can literally just look directly forwards, see where that flat bit is on the top, and apply it back here. With the outline of the roof complete on the front and the back, we are going to fill underneath the two roof sections in using light blue terracotta. Perfect. And the long bit, we now have to connect the roof front and back. You don't have to extend every single block and connect them together, just the ones that are seen from the outside. With the majority of the roof made, we have a couple of parts to clean up. The garage roof. Well, first of all, we just have to fill the top part of the garage in using blue terracotta. Then extend this back row of blue terracotta up a row like this. And you may even choose to overhang the front of the garage as well, so that adds a little bit of depth. On the left side of the build, we have to add a roof to this small rectangular section, so if we simply build up blue terracotta left and right of the top of the shape here, and then extend the blue terracotta inwards and upwards until they inevitably join together and reach a peak, and then you can fill the center of this in using light blue terracotta, and then extend the sides of the blue terracotta back and join to the main part of the roof. That's really all you've got to do. Since we're working on things roof related, the chimney has to get extended an additional row inwards using stone, like this, and honestly it's not at a bad height. I would recommend building up stone until it is one row higher than the apex of the roof, which is this middle part here. So, now that it is one row higher, we want to place upside down, back to back stone stairs on top of the actual stone, like this, to form the top of the chimney. Now let's work on things that have nothing to do with the roof. Come all the way to the back left hand corner of the house. I want you to leave a row of 6 in the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, extending backwards. So on the 7th block, place a light blue terracotta and extend it backwards by 2 rows, 1, 2. Extend it across by 2, 1, 2, and then forwards by 2. Place an oak door in the middle, then place light blue terracotta on top of the base, like this. Place light blue terracotta on top of the back middle block and on top of the door. What we then want to do is place blue terracotta on top of the left and right sides of the frame, with then blue terracotta on top of the middle row that we've made. We're then going to extend the blue terracotta outwards on the left and right, and then forwards by 1 as well. Extend in, up, like this, and then extend all of those additional rows backwards, like so, and then add another row of blue terracotta on the back, and there we have a garden shed. On the front of the build, we have to add a pathway. So this pathway is going to be 2 rows thick, and it will span the width of the doorstep here. It will then connect to the garage here. We then want to dig the same area of the garage door, so from this spruce stair to this spruce stair, and we want to dig out the entire space in between. Then extend this space all the way to the edge of the grid that we have on the front of the build, like this. The last 2 rows of the grid, aka the first 2 rows of the grid, are going to be smooth stone. So this is going to be a pavement. You can see how this lines up with Ed's house over there. Well, these first 2 rows of smooth stone are going to be the pavement, and then the rest of this area is going to be filled in with stone. This can be done at a later point in time, but just to kind of illustrate how this is going to look, there we go. So the reason that this is important is because just behind the pavement connecting to the driveway, we are going to place a row of oak leaves directly behind the pavement, spanning all the way over to the left on top of the grid, and then all the way along the back here. And then just as we get to the back, we want to stack a double row high of oak planks that is going to work as a fence just along the very back of the grid line. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we really don't have too much to do. All I'm going to say is if you have a magic axe, it'll make the next part a lot easier. So all we have to do is fill in the pavement along the front of the build. This is just 2 rows of smooth stone. Then we have to fill in the driveway and the little path that leads to the door. That is going to be just regular stone. And then Last but not least, we are going to replace the edge of the grid and all of the grass inside of the grid using lime terracotta, and preferably you won't accidentally change it to white wool in the process. And that's it. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet made any of the other houses, we have made Ed, and Eddy's house. You can find all of the links for these tutorials down below in the description if you haven't used them already. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!